She left, Your Honor. I will try to see if I can get a hold of her. I don't know what happened.
Are we ready on Mr. Castillo's case, Mr. Statesman?
Yes.
Okay. This is cause number 684-657, State of Texas versus Joe Castillo. This is a motion to revoke community supervision.
I really just know that one person.
Everybody that is out there, please turn your microphone off unless I'm specifically talking with you or getting background noise. Thanks, guys. The first document on this case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. In fact, Mr. Castillo, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. And Mr. Statesman, as attorney for Mr. Castillo, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document on this case is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document also, Mr. Castillo?
Your Honor, it is.
Thank you. And Mr. Statesman, as attorney for Mr. Castillo, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Statesman, my understanding is that this is going to be an uncontested motion to revoke community supervision. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a plea of truth with explanation.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, in cause 684-657 on the motion to revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
I wish it would never
True.
happen.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Castillo's probation? I remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Castillo's performed very poorly on probation in that he never even reported for orientation to sign his conditions. Therefore, no payments have been made. He has a balance of $1,390. He is delinquent $114. We have no proof of completion of any of his 80 hours of community service. We have no proof of enrollment into the stress class or the theft class. We have no drug tests on file as he never reported. His criminal history is quite extensive. He has a theft 50 to 500, assault bodily injury, burglary of a habitation to commit assault, theft 20 to 500 by check, assault bodily injury, false alarm report, resisting arrest, transportation search, criminal trespass of a building or vehicle, obstruction of highway, intoxication, criminal mischief 500 to 1500, criminal trespass of a habitation or shelter, criminal trespass on private property, criminal mischief 100 to 750, criminal trespass of a habitation or shelter, criminal trespass of private property, criminal trespass of private property, criminal mischief 100 to 750, criminal trespass private property, criminal mischief 100 to 750, theft 100 to 750, criminal mischief 750 to 2500, criminal trespass on private property. This case, which is burglary of a vehicle, criminal trespass, private property, and he has 2 new misdemeanor arrests in which he is awaiting a docket appearance for fail to ID, give false information, and criminal trespass on private property.
And Mr. Statesman, what are you requesting?
Hang on, Judge. And
Oh, you're not finished? Excusez-moi.
This is his first violation report, first MTR, and his officer is recommending revocation, and his original fine was $450.
Thank you. And Mr. Statesman, what are you requesting?
Judge, I spoke with Mr. Castillo. He had all intentions of reporting. The request is a 30-day revoke 30 days. He has credit for 24 days. I understand that this was straight probation. You have the 365 underlying, but the reason we're asking for this is because he had a relationship. His partner kicked him out of his house. He had no place to live. He was homeless. He did go to report, but he missed the day. He tried to go back the next day, but he became homeless. He was unemployed. The criminal trespass is because he was kicked out of that house. He doesn't want to contest it. He kind of regrets being put on probation when he could have probably taken a jail sentence a month ago when he was placed on probation. It was June 2nd, 2022. We're asking that you give him credit for time he served, 24 days. And if you could do less than the 365, he's asking for 30.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Joseph.
And this will resolve the other two cases, the criminal trespass and the fail to ID. The state will TIC both of them.
State's recommendation?
State's recommending to revoke, Your Honor.
Mr. Castillo, in cause 684 or 657, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, assess a $450 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, recalling all pretrial service, bond conditions, and warrants. State, I'm going to ask you for permission to take into consideration cause 688-002 and 688-003, although I didn't initially have a warm fuzzy feeling about that based on Mr. Castillo's very colorful past. But after Mr. Stateson explained it to me, that seemed like the only fair thing to do. Would that be okay with the state?
Would be, Your Honor.
Okay with the defense?
Yes, Judge, please TIC.
Taking into consideration cause 688-002, failure to identify, and 688-003, criminal trespass. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Castillo?
Nothing from defense.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Castillo. Thank you, Mr. States.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Castillo, the sheriffs do calculate the 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 credit. Try to do trustee status.
So what did I get? I got a whole year?
It's
Yes, sir.
365, but he gave you credit for the 24. You need to start doing trustee status to get 3-for-1 credit.
Okay, I thought maybe he was going to take into consideration like lowering my time, like 6 months or 3 months.
We asked,
That'll
the judge did the 365, but he did dismiss the other two cases.
Once I go to court.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so say my sister come down here, me and her gotta go.
Okay, are we ready on Mr. Richardson? Do we have Miss Eagle? I see Miss Eagle's name. Now I see Miss Eagle's cute little
I'm
face.
here, Judge.
All right, are we ready to proceed on Mr. Richardson?
We're ready.
All right, this is cause 657-354, State of Texas versus Kendrick Richardson. This is a second amended motion to revoke community supervision. The first document I have on this case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, which is reportedly signed both by Mr. Richardson and by his attorney, Ms. Eagle. In fact, Mr. Richardson, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Eagle, as attorney for Mr. Richardson, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document also, Mr. Richardson?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. And Ms. Eagle, as attorney for Mr. Richardson, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Eagle, my understanding is that this is going to be an uncontested second amended motion to revoke community supervision. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, and we will be pleading to failure to submit a drug test on May 27th of 20.
Okay, I apologize. You broke up on me. Can you re-say what you just said? Y'all are going to plead true to a certain conditions. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
And which conditions?
The allegation of
Two.
condition number 2, Judge. A violation, failing to submit to a drug test on May 27th, 2022.
Okay, and once again, I'm really having a hard time hearing. The condition that you're pleading true to is what again? Number what?
2.
Number 2. How many number 2s do we have? Just one?
No, more than that, Judge. It's the very first number 2 on your motion, the second amended motion to revoke
I've got
probation.
you. All right. So is that correct, Mr. Richardson?
Yes, sir, that's correct. I didn't have the
All
money.
right. I understand, sir. Okay, so let me just ask the formal question. Mr. Richardson, in cause number 657-354, it's my understanding that you're going to plead true with an explanation to condition number 2. Is that correct, sir?
Correct, sir. I didn't have the money.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Richardson's probation? I remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. His reporting has been good. We last saw him June 29th, 2022. He's missed a total of 1 month reporting since being placed on probation. He's paid $120 towards his fees. He has a balance of $1,344, and he is currently delinquent $264. We have no record of any of his 48 hours community service having been completed. We have no record of enrollment or completion of the DWI Education Victim Impact Panel or CAPSNP programs. A gang check was conducted, and he was found to be not qualified for the program. This is his first violation report, first MTR. He is currently on a Smart Start mobile device where he was testing 4 times per day. Since being placed on the device, when he was placed on probation, he had 18 skips, and he has had 19 high bracs. Those are all separate instances, and the bracs range from 0.021 to 0.154. His criminal history includes resisting arrest, search, transportation, theft of person, interfere with emergency telephone, assault, bodily injury, married, possession of marijuana, 0 to 2 ounces, 2 charges of that, assault, bodily injury, married, possession of marijuana under 2 ounces in a drug-free zone, 2 cases of assault, bodily injury, married, unlawful carrying of a handgun, and this offense, and then an additional unlawful carrying of a handgun in a motor vehicle. This is his first violation report, first MTR, and the officer is recommending that he be placed on a SCRAM device and that you add weekly UAs as a condition of his probation.
And as a probation supervisor with the Bexar County CSCD, what is your personal recommendation on the facts of this case?
Your Honor, in this situation, after reviewing the defendant's case file, he does appear to have an extensive problem with alcohol. At a bare minimum, I personally would recommend that he go to the SATA facility.
And for everybody's understanding, the SATA facility is a substance abuse treatment facility, and it's an inpatient drug alcohol rehabilitation program. Inpatient meaning you can't walk out the door, you can't take phone calls, all that. It would be a minimum of 120 days to 180 days, depending on the needs of the individual. My understanding, and I want Susan to clarify this for you, it's so backed up right now for someone wanting, even the defendant that volunteers to go to SATA would have to wait in jail 60 to 90 days before they get a bed in SATA to go for 120 to 180 days. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Which makes it sort of unreasonable in my mind that that's a viable option for a defendant. But if they were willing to do that, I would certainly entertain that, Ms. Eagle. If you want to chat with your defendant about that in a breakout room and see if that's something he wants to do. Obviously, you'd have to really want to go to inpatient rehab to go through all that, but that would be between you and he.
Judge, it's my understanding my client does not want to do that.
I wouldn't want to do that either. Okay. State recommendation on Mr. Richardson, please.
State recommends revocation, Your Honor.
And Susan, what did you tell me the fine amount on this one was?
Judge, the original fine amount was $600. And just for clarification, Ms. Eagle, are you requesting that the defendant be continued on probation or that he be revoked?
That he be revoked.
Thank you.
Mr. Richardson, in cause 657354, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation on condition 2. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. I assess a $600 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, recalling all pretrial bond conditions and warrants. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Richardson?
Not from the state, Judge.
Not from the defense.
Good luck, Mr. Richardson. Thank you, Ms. Eagle.